So we talk a lot about the big principles of AI ethics, right? Fairness, accountability, transparency. But let's be real. How do we get from those big ideas to actual concrete actions? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today, a real-world action plan for building a more ethical AI future. To do this, we're going to zero in on the actionable recommendations from a specific source. This is Chapter 9 of a 10-chapter course called AI Ethics, Business, and Society, which is by Virtualization Options LLC. And this chapter is all about turning those high-level principles into a playbook you can actually use. The big question then is, how do we make this stuff real? The source material breaks it down into a plan for three key groups. You've got the business leaders who are building and deploying AI, the policymakers who are setting the rules of the road, and then, well, all of us, society, the people who interact with these systems every single day. Let's kick things off with the people right at the heart of AI development. What does it actually take for a company to be a responsible leader in this new age? Because, it takes a lot more than just good intentions. All right, so first up, the business leaders. And this isn't just about dodging risks or avoiding bad press. This is really about building a sustainable competitive advantage that's built on trust and responsibility. So here's the deal. These are the absolute non-negotiables. Leaders have to make transparency, fairness, and accountability the bedrock of every single AI project. And that means investing real money and resources into training your people, building inclusive teams that actually reflect the society your AI is going to serve, and putting governance in place that has real teeth, not just some committee that rubber stamps whatever comes across its desk. And this quote just nails the mindset shift that has to happen. Ethical AI isn't the brake pedal on innovation. It's the steering wheel. It's the very thing that allows a company to build trust, to attract the best talent, and to create products that succeed long-term because they're built responsibly. And to make that happen, you've got to bake ethics into the process from day one. It means championing AI literacy for absolutely everyone in the organization, not just the tech teams. It means collaborating on industry standards. And, maybe most importantly, it means having the wisdom to pause and ask, just because we can build this, should we? Of course, companies don't operate in a vacuum, right? They're shaped by laws and regulations. And that brings us to our second group, the policymakers. So what does smart, adaptive regulation even look like for a technology that moves this fast? This is the huge challenge for governments everywhere. How do you craft rules that protect people and promote fairness, but without accidentally stifling the very innovation that could solve major world problems? It's a really delicate balancing act. The source material lays out this clear 5-step approach. It starts with a risk-based framework, stricter rules for high-stakes AI and things like hiring or law enforcement, and a lighter touch for low-risk stuff, like your music recommendations. It also calls for international cooperation and for bringing everyone to the table, industry, civil society, academics, to make sure the rules are both smart and fair. And this really gets to the heart of it. You have to be agile. You can't just pass a law and then walk away. AI evolves way too quickly for that. Regulators need the ability to learn and adapt, and they need the authority and the resources to actually enforce the rules and hold powerful players accountable. Okay, so this brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. It's really easy to think of AI ethics as a problem for CEOs and politicians to solve. But what about us? What's our collective role in all of this? This last section is a direct call to action for every single one of us. It reframes our role from being just passive consumers of technology to being active participants in how it's governed. We all have a part to play here. So what can we actually do? Well, we can get involved in the debate. We can demand better from our elected officials. We can support education to make sure everyone can navigate this new world. We can even vote with our wallets by choosing products from companies we believe are ethical. And we can support the civil society groups who are out there on the front lines fighting for these things. And this is something every single one of us can start doing today. It just means questioning the recommendations we get, seeking out different perspectives instead of just accepting what the algorithm feeds us. It means protecting our own privacy. It's all about consciously holding on to our human agency and our judgment in a world that is becoming more and more automated. And in the end, this is the key takeaway. An ethical AI future isn't some technical problem that needs to be solved with more code. It's a social vision that we have to build together. The path this technology takes is not inevitable. It's going to be shaped by the decisions business leaders make, the frameworks policymakers create, and the standards that all of us demand. The future isn't predetermined. It's a choice we are all making together right now.